Hey guys, this is Balu and today in this tutorial I will show how you can create this kind of cool CGI ads in Blender using fspy application and keying tools for tracking in Blender easily. So hope you guys will find the video useful, and without any further delay, let's start today's video. So here I will be using this fspy application which is used to get the camera perspective of footage. So for this we need to have single image of our footage. So here I will be using this footage from Pixabay. So here you can see I'm using this footage. I will leave a link in the description for this footage. So we need to have a single frame of this footage first. So here I got the footage, so I will open this one. So be on the starting frame. So if you are using VLC player, go to this video option and click on this take snapshot. So you'll get a single frame. After that we need to import that single frame onto this fspy application. So let's go to this pictures folder where I got that one. So select it and drag and drop it onto this fspy application. So here you can see. So let's change this to Z axis first. So let's arrange this axis. So let's select the point here, hold shift key to get zoom in, and let's place this here, or else let's align this as per this perspective. So let's place this here, and also I think, where is this? Yeah, I think this is the corner. So let's select this one and let's place this onto this edge here, and also let's place this onto this edge. So we got the Z axis set. Now let's set this X axis. So let's place the X axis onto this position, and let's place this here. Okay, and also let's select this point here and let's place this here. So I think we need to change this to minus Z axis so that we get the Z axis on the top. So we got the Z axis here. So after that simply save this file. So go to this file option. So before that let me enable this grid, XY grid. So we got the grid here, so let it be here. Go to this file option, save. So I will save this in downloads and I will save this as watch fspy data and save. So now we can close this application. So let's close this one. So now come to this Blender here. So here I'm using Blender 4.2.3 version. So let's delete this default scene by pressing A on the keyboard and delete. So now let's import that fspy data. So for that we need to install fspy application add-on. So here I will leave a link in the description, or else you can click on the iCard above for a video where I have clearly explained how to download and install this fspy add-on. So once the installation is done, go to this file option, import, select this fspy application option. So from here select the data. So I have saved this as watch fspy data and import. So now you can see we got the camera aligned also with the image. Okay, so here this is image. So since we are using movie clip, let's change this to movie clip. So come to this camera option here, expand this background images, change this to movie clip. Once again we need to load the footage. So click on this open and it's in download, select the footage and open clip, and let's increase the opacity here. So now you can see we got this. First let's add a cube here. So go to this add mesh, let's add a cube. So now we need to roughly model this skyscraper. So let's press tab key for edit mode. Let's select this face here and bring it to the top, and let's select this face here. Let's place this, let's change this to wireframe, and let's change this to vertex selection. So here I will place this roughly, so at this position, and also okay, so I think to adjust this one, so let's place it here. So this top doesn't matter since we are going to wrap the watch model around this building. So make sure these edges are aligned perfectly, and also this one, this edge. So I think select this edge and this edge, and let's move it here. So this is the corner. Okay, so once the placement is done, let's move back to the solid viewport. Let's change this to object mode. So now we need to track this footage. So here I will be using the screen tools. So let's press R on the keyboard. So here we got this Geotracker, which is from Keen Tools. Let's select this Geotracker. Click on this create new Geotracker. So here we need to add the clip once again. So let's select the footage once again. So it is in downloads, open. So we got the footage loaded. So after that, just click on the analyze button. Here I got this re-analyze option because I have analyzed this footage already. So for you, analyze option will be there. Just click on this analyze option. And here we need to select the frames. So I will reduce the frame count to 220. And after that, just click on this OK. So now it is analyzing our footage. So here the analyzing is done. After that, come to this camera option, tracking option here. Here we are not tracking the geometry, we are tracking the camera. So let's change this to camera and click on this start pin mode option. So here you can see we got our cube selected into green outlines. So first of all, let me save the project, Ctrl S. So project is saved. So now click on this track to and forward button. So it will track the footage now. So you can say the tracking is started. So here the tracking is done and we got this tracking done, but here we can see our cube is getting away from this building line. So let's adjust this exit pin mode. So we got this tracking done. So let's fix that issue. So let's change this to wireframe. So let's come to the starting frame here. So in order to fix that, we need to add shape keys. So let's come to the starting frame here. Now come to this vertex mode. So add a keyframe for the shape keys here. So this is the basis shape key. So after that, add another shape key. So in this key one, we need to make the changes. So press tab key for edit mode. So let's select the vertex here. So select this both vertex and let's bring it close to the building. And also select this vertex, change it here. And also let's bring the vertex here. Okay, so that it matches the building. So now come to this object mode. So again, if you come to this object mode, it regains its position. So we need to add a keyframe. So come to the starting frame, add a keyframe here. So add a keyframe for this value. And now come to the last frame. Now change this value to 1. Now you can see we got this adjusted to the building. Now add another keyframe, select both the keyframes, press T and make it linear. Okay, so I think this is fine. Nice. So once this is done, we can import our model onto this cube. Now let's change this to object mode, press N to hide this out. So now we can place any model onto this cube. So here I will be using this watch model, which is already a rigged one. So thank you for this provider. So simply download this model and download it in GLTF format. It will be downloaded in zip file. Extract that zip file and we need to import that model. So let's import that model onto this cube. So let's pass this one first since RAM will be consumed. So let's go to this file option. Import, it is GLTF, select this GLTF, it is in downloads. So come to downloads and select the file. So now you can see we got this watch here and let's place this around to the building. So let's place this here. Let's come out of this thing. Let's place this, wrap this around the building. Press 7. Okay. And this is fine. Press 0 once again to see through camera. And I think we need to rotate this model here. So let it face the camera. And also let okay, press 0. So if you want to reduce the scaling, you can do that. So I think this much is fine. And also a bit of rotation to get the depth. Okay, so now we got our model around onto this cube. So we got the model. So let's animate a bit. So here we got the animation already, but let's add some oscillating animation here. So come to the starting frame, press I on the keyboard. Let's move 50 frames forward and let's bring it up like this a bit, or else let's bring it down. Press I once again. Let's come to this 100 frame. Select the starting frame, Press Ctrl press C to copy, Ctrl V to paste. Now select all the keyframes once again, press Shift E and make it cyclic. So now we will have this oscillating animation also, which is like moving up and down animation. Okay, so now this is looking good. So now let's move on to this render viewport. So here the scene is looking dark because there is no light in the scene. So here I will be using HDRI. So here I will be using this HDRI which I am getting from Polyheaven. I will leave a link in the description for this also. You can use this one. So let's close this. So come to this world properties, click on this color yellow dot, select this environment texture. So from here we need to load that HDRI, open. So it is in downloads. So here we got that HDRI, select it and open. So now we got some light in the scene. So we need to make this transparent. So come to this render properties, scroll down, come to this film option and change this to transparent. Okay. So now we need to hide this cube here. So for that we will be using holdout material. So select the cube here, come to this material properties, add new material. So surface, change it from principal BSDF to holdout. So now you can see we got rid of that cube and our model is around that cube here. Okay, so I think we need to rotate this a bit. So I think let it be like here at the starting. So now you can see we got our watch model around this building. Nice. So if you want to add shadows we can do that. So for that select the cube once again. So duplicate it, shifted it to duplicate that one. Let's delete this material. So first of all click on this number which will be linked to that. So let's delete the material now. Press S to increase the scaling a bit. Just increase the scaling a bit. Now after that add principal BSDF material. Now come to this render settings. Change this to cycles here. Enable GPU compute. And being selected this cube, come to this object properties. Come to this visibility and make it shadow catcher. So now let's add sun in the scene. So shift A, light, add sun in the scene here. Let's place it here. Actually this position doesn't matter for sun. So come to this light properties and let's increase the strength to 5 and let's rotate this here. So now you can see we are getting the shadows visible onto the building. So I think yeah, let it be here like this and let's rotate this also here. Okay, so now you can see we got shadows onto the building also. Nice. So I think this is fine. Now come to this render settings. So here we'll be using cycles, right? So in render samples I will reduce this to 32 and noise threshold I will reduce to 0.1. So these settings are to reduce the render time. If you want to spend much time and if your device is capable you can leave this to default. And light paths I will reduce this to 6 and transmission also 6. Okay, and let's come to this color management. I will change this to standard. And if you want to make this look with contrast, let's make this medium contrast, or else let's change this to medium. Okay, you can see we got some contrast added in the scene. Okay, so once this is done I think render settings are fine. Now come to this output properties. So here by default FHD resolution will be set. If you want to increase the resolution you can do that. I will leave this to default. Enable this render region, crop to render region. Frame rate we need to match this with the footage frame rate. So let me check the footage frame rate. So it is in downloads, right? So this is the footage. Right click, properties, details. So here the frame rate is 29.97, right? So here I need to change the frame rate. So I'll change this to 29.97. Okay, so frame range starting 1 to 220 is fine. If you want to increase or decrease you can do that according to your footage. So 1 to 220 is fine. So here I need to select a folder where I can save output files. So here I have selected a folder. So file format, let it be PNG and make sure this RGBA is selected. So once this is done, just come to this render option and click on this render animation. So it will render only the 3D elements. We won't get the footage visible. Later we need to use any editing software to do compositing. So for time being I will show a single frame. So I will be on the starting frame and I will click on this render image. So it starts to render. So here you can see we are not finding the footage, only our 3D element is visible in the render. So here the render is done. So now let's save this image, save as. So I will be saving this as PNG, RGB is selected, and I will save this in downloads and I will rename this as 1111 random one, save image. Okay. So let's close this, let's save this project. So here I got the footage loaded onto the timeline. So I will load the single frame what I have rendered now. So drag and drop it onto this footage. So if you want to import sequence, right click, import, select the file and select the sequence. So here I am using single image, right? So I will select the image, drag and drop it onto the footage. So after that you can do color correction of these 3D elements to match with the footage, and using the sequence we will get this movement along with the footage. Here it is single frame, so it is not moving along with the footage. So if you rendered sequence, it will be moving along with the footage. Nice. So in this way we can create CGI ads in Blender easily. So hope you guys have learned something new from this tutorial. If you have learned anything new, please like, share and subscribe my channel to support me. So we'll meet in the next video. Until then, signing off. Take care. Bye.